Look at this. Humanity has a new glimpse of the universe. These are new full-colour infrared images that show some of the deepest views of space ever captured, released Tuesday. They were taken by the largest space telescope ever built, the James Webb telescope. And this is the Southern Ring Nebula. It's about 2,500 light years away. NASA says this image is capturing the star's final performance. And then this is Stephan's quintet, a grouping of 5 galaxies. And here we have the Carina Nebula, which reveals previously obscured areas of star birth, roughly 7,600 light years away. Incredible shots there. So, for more on this story, I am joined by Markus Kissler-Patig. He is the head of the Science and Operations Department at the European Space Agency and helped lead the team there on the Webb telescope. And he joins us now from Stockholm in Sweden. Great to have you back with us.
Hello, thanks. Nice to be back.
So, of course, we spoke 24 hours ago, didn't we, about that first extraordinary snapshot of the universe. Now we have more images to talk about. What do they reveal, coming to us thousands of light years away, starting, of course, with the Southern Ring Nebula, if we bring that up?
Indeed. I mean, we released 4 more images about 12 hours ago, and they're as spectacular as the first one. And in the Southern Ring Nebula, this is actually a dying star. So pretty much we're witnessing the death of a star, which could be our sun. So our sun will go through that fate in about 5 billion years, nothing to worry about now. But it shows how actually the envelope of dust is blown out once this nuclear fusion is finishing, and it leads to these spectacular images. We typically call them planetary nebulae, although they have nothing to do with planets. It's really the normal end of a star blowing out its dust and forming these spectacular cocoons. And the James Webb Space Telescope, with this infrared eye, can actually peek through all of this dust, which is expanding around this star, and allows us to actually study in detail how stars are dying, how they actually blow out this material, which will be recycled into new stars.
I mean, it is just simply beautiful. And then this next image, Stephan's quintet, what is going on here?
So that's a dance of galaxies, really. Gravity puts everything together. You don't escape it, not even in the universe when things are far away. And what we're seeing here is actually 5 galaxies. One is actually on the foreground, the ones which shows the most detail. The other 4 are really in the process of being merged together and will form a larger galaxy eventually. A little bit also like the analogy would be our Milky Way and our nearest galaxy, Andromeda. They will merge in a few 100 million years as well. Again, nothing to worry about for tomorrow, but it's a normal process on how galaxies actually emerge. The spectacular part of this, which we didn't expect at all, is that peeking through again the dust, so this infrared capability of Webb, on the top galaxy there, we see actually a very bright light source. Not on the composite image, but there's an infrared image accompanying the release. And there you actually see the black hole. So for the first time, we actually see the dust falling into the black hole and actually shining a last time. And it completely outshine this entire image. We immediately jumped on it and say, wow, we can see actually the black hole accreting the dust. That was amazing. I mean, all of these images were jaw-dropping for us. We were speechless when we saw them.
I can understand that. And then the Carina Nebula, if we bring that up, and this is particularly beautiful, isn't it? Again, we talked yesterday about these pieces of art, and that's what they are.
Exactly. That's my favorite. Actually, I have it already as a background, and again, one that I will frame and put, ahead of my bed. It's showing us actually a cradle of stars. So stars being born. Here we have a line of dust, and again there we had looked with Hubble onto it, but the dust was actually blocking our view. It's visible light. So if I were to actually put a cloud of dust in front of you, you and I being only able to actually see visible light, we wouldn't be able to peek through. If you could see in the infrared, as Webb does, then you would actually see through the dust, and you could actually see how this dust is collapsing to form new stars. And that's what we are seeing here. Now, suddenly we saw lots of dust, all of these little stars being born, right? That was Webb what was allowing us to actually see, it's amazing, because we're going to actually study how really this hundreds and thousands actually of stars in this nebula are being born right now, and it's actually demonstrating the capability of Webb to actually, with its infrared eyes, study the birth of stars with a detail which is unprecedented.
And for the benefit of those viewers who weren't with us yesterday, what are you hoping to learn from these extraordinary new images of deep space coming to us, of course, from the James Webb Telescope?
It's really going to be a revolution for the entire field of astrophysics, for our actually knowledge of the universe, for humankind in general. It touches upon so many fields, whether we address this, the birth of stars, the death of stars, so really where are we coming from, what's the fate of our sun. The other, not image, but spectrum, which was released yesterday, maybe less spectacular for the public, but fascinating for scientists, was studying the atmosphere, the chemical composition of the atmosphere of a planet in a solar system beyond ours. And we could immediately see water there. So we knew that water is ubiquitous. We know that life, as we know it, is based on water. We now know that actually water is everywhere. And really the search for life, are we alone? This big question is really one that Webb will actually let us address. In addition to actually studying the very, very early phase of the universe, the image which was released 36 hours ago now, which allowed us to actually really look at the very, very beginning of the universe, how structured formed there, what is our universe made of, cues on the laws of physics in our universe, potentially giving us hints whether there are other universes. So really an enormous field of research is opening up, and I'm really kind of jealous for this generation of scientists just coming up out of their PhDs who will have a playground to discover the universe and tell us about their mysteries.
You've still had your fun, though. Simply spectacular.
We will have fun.
Markus Kissler-Patig, thank you so much for joining us.